Alrighty, gang. How are y'all doing? Last video, I promised. Okay, so the last major thing that I've made improvements or some progress on, I will call it air delivery and management, boost control. Boost control, we're getting there. With the Holly, you got a lot of options, so you're gonna see what's in the budget, see what's feasible. Maybe the first year or so, next year. By the time I get it done, might just run it on gate spring and see where we go. But anyhow, what have we done? So I think I talked about it before, but I've got all my pipes for my cold side all ready. I just need to bead roll a couple of those. So I'm going to get me a little bead roller and show y'all later how to do that. I found one tonight. I believe I'm going to purchase. Eastwood's got one, a couple other people. There's some cheaper options on eBay. Whatever's in your budget, you know. Don't spend a bunch of money for something you ain't going to use, or maybe you got a friend that's going to help. But cool. So that'll be a couple of adapters. Try to reduce what we can. Might TIG weld some more. And let me preface this. I don't TIG weld. I don't really, I'm not great at it. Alright, let me just show you. To the compressor side of the turbo, there's V-band clamps and flanges. So, don't yell at me, but I tried my best with different thicknesses of aluminum and purchasing these flanges off of eBay. That's my worst side. We'll go back to this side. But I got those TIGged on. With a learning experience, I found an older gentleman who really helped me. And yeah, get help whenever you can or wherever you can. And learn. It's expensive to get into TIG welding or welding in general, but get into it as much as you can with your budget. See what you can do, as far as purchasing wise. I don't know if there's anything wrong with those Harbor Freight units. Maybe somebody will tell me they're trash, but I used the Miller-Matic TIG with, I believe it was a Miller-Matic TIG with that older guy, Mr. Bradford, and he helped me out. So nonetheless, the coolest thing, I think is the coolest. Let me get down here. I'm getting old. That is going to be the grill. Don't worry about the dirt. Everything will get cleaned up, right? Those are two 50mm blow-off valves. Whoa. So let's get in here and check it out. So what we've done on top of the intercooler is cut holes and welded the flanges that came with it. And the flanges that were with it are really for pipe, right? They got that kind of bevel to them that allow you to kind of slip over the top of the pipe after you cut a hole and just weld on top. Well, we nipped that off and tried measuring, and we used these to kind of get a gauge on what am I trying to say, to make sure the depth was correct so the V-band would go around. But I know it needs adjustment a little bit here and there. Don't mind my ugly brackets. I think those are temporary. But I don't know if I can take this header panel off while we're talking or not, guys. But hey, that is going to be slick. Two blow-off valves right there in the top of the intercooler, and they'll just be venting in the grill there. That'd be cool. I'll talk about those blow-off valves. They're VS Racing. We'll probably get some slack. I know we should all be buying tile and this and that. That stuff is insanely priced. It is crazy. I've got 4 pieces of my kit for, I don't know, less than $350, and one tile, anything, is $350. So good on you if you can afford that. Not in my book right now, but who knows? If these end up being crap, I'll have to upgrade. And what I did to ensure that these will work better, well, I believe better than just out of the box, is since I've had lots of time, I just took them on my bench over here and took them all apart. Every nut, every bolt, every hex cap screw, and cleaned any burrs. I didn't find many. Didn't find many at all. That seems to be the major complaint. I cleaned everything up, put it back together, lubricated it, made sure it's torqued down properly, and I don't see why they won't work. I really don't. So speaking of the next half of that kit, hey, what are you doing down here? 44mm wastegates. You can see our other friend over there, and that's our exhaust pipe starter. That's just kind of a starter. I don't believe I'll use it. I mean, I think I'm gonna go stainless on all this stuff. The starters for my blow-off valves are stainless, so I believe that to be aluminized pipe, don't you guys? And get a magnet stick to it, so no, it's not stainless. So I think I'll make that stainless. I mean, I feel as if that's where I should spend some money. And we'll have bumper exit exhaust and wastegate. If it turns out to be easier just to get the wastegate into the exhaust later, we'll do that, but it'd be pretty neat. I know Motion Raceworks makes some trim rings that have a provision for the wastegate, so that's pretty neat. So yeah, wastegates in place. Those I rebuilt those as well. We've got again the let me get up. We've got the blow-off valves in the grill. That's how they look right there. Oh man, that's really cool. I think it's unique. I've seen it done a few times, but not a lot. Usually on the charge pipe there. And I guess I haven't talked about the charge pipe because it's not that fancy. It's some 3.5-inch aluminum. We'll have to do some tigging on it, but essentially all it does, I think I've had it in place on another video. Let me see if I can a second, but yeah, I can't quite do it just holding it in the camera. I should have had to put it on there before, but essentially it'll 90 out, come through the lack of fender well here, and come around and hop into the intercooler right there. So yeah, making some progress. No, it's not exactly there. Got to work on some bracketry and get things a little more permanent. Oh, one last thing. Doesn't really do with the air management, but hey, I got an oil filter relocation mounted. And let's see. I thought about this a minute ago in the other video, and I don't know if we can see it all that well. Oh, definitely not. But the MMR, I got a good deal on one. It's the MMR kit. I got the plate on the block, and it seems to work pretty well. So it has enough, you know, you can kind of see it there. Provisions for oil feed for the turbos. So I like that because it'll just, both of them will be fed from right up here in the front. So we'll make up some -4 lines, come over here, and we got to make up some -10s to let the oil drain back out. And remember from a previous video, there's 2 -10 AN fittings sticking out of the front of the pan. So that's pretty neat. They're kind of at an angle on the sides, on the round sides. So cool. Well, I guess that's it for now. I plan on purchasing a couple more items. You know, there's a couple dollars coming here in the next week or so, and doing some more updates. So y'all be good. Talk to you soon.